Okay. I think it's working. Baruch Hashem. Shalom, everybody. We are now continuing what we left off last time in the book of Orchot Tzaddikim, the gate of anger. And our topic today is don't be crazy. What craziness has to do with anger? Rochelle, you have any idea? So you're crazy if you get angry.
Because you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. I agree with you. In one hand, we've learned that anger is a very bad trait. Character trait, right? On the other hand, the book here teaches us that sometimes you need to be angry. So we've learned that everything had to be measurable. Everything has to be under control, which means if you angry at people, / children, employee, employer, whatever, you need to find out what trigger you, why it's happening, because obviously something is wrong and you can't control yourself because you always respond with anger, and it's a very bad to do that. Okay, now. Sometimes we need to be angry. If you're angry at yourself because you didn't accomplish a task that you're planning to do for such a long time, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. If you play as if you're angry, as a parent or as a teacher, sometimes in order to maintain discipline in the house or in school, you have to play, you have to act as you are angry. And immediately after saying what you wanted to say, you go back to regular track, everything now is cool and fine. Don't hold grudge. Anger comes from pride. If you're angry a lot, it means that you are full of pride. Think about it. Now, the rabbi is going to teach us something very special. When you get angry, something changes in your face. Remember the story of Ronen, the Baal Shem Tov, and the guy that came and he didn't recognize him. The rabbi is at such a high spiritual level, and the guy's face for him was like, well, who are you? And it was the guy they was supposed to meet, and he knows him for a long time. Anger changed the aura, the light, to the degree that it's going to leave you. Whoever angry is as if he is worshipping idols, Oved Avodah Zarah. It can lead to many mistakes in life, in the spiritual and the physical life. You know how many people died out of anger? Small argument in a parking lot, pushing here, pushing there, stabbing, shooting, that's it. Finished. Just a minute or two of anger. You have to control yourself. Anger management. Remember we talked about it? How to manage your anger. Life are dynamic. People get angry. Especially the pressure we are at in this generation. So much pressure. People are pursuing after money. Everything is money. There's a lot of, I saw the other day, they show how people on the Black Friday pushing each other, and I thought, what they giving there? It's so crazy. What kind of generation we're living in? People are willing to step on each other, to push, to kill, to hurt someone because he wants a TV with a 50% discount. It's not going to pay 150, it's going to pay 80. You guys, some places it's not even 50%. It's the excitement. I don't know what it is. And this is how you want to educate your children? You want them to see that? Okay, Yafa, bechavod. We are on the last part, page 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245. 245.
The sage has said, he whose anger comes upon him with thought, upon him you will see the composure and grace. And he whose anger comes upon him with thoughtlessness, upon him you will see folly.
This is a very strong statement. The sage said, he whose anger comes upon him with thought. What does that mean? It's under control. It stays with him. It doesn't go to an action. Doesn't convert to an action. He thinks and respond accordingly. With wisdom. It's in the thought. Which means, who is under control? The brain. Your sechel. That's good. Tirei alav, he says, hayishuv v'hahadar. You can see that he's still cool. He is under control. This guy can be a great manager, a great CEO, a great father, mother, student, teacher, a great person. It's under control. Because the sechel, the thought, the machshava, the brain is controlling. You're not led by your emotion, but by your sechel, by your brain. Go ahead.
The sage has said further, he whose anger is strong and his wrath intense is not far from the demented.
Right.
And he
the demented.
And he who
crazy.
And he who is given to anger, his life is no life, and he is never happy. And since he is never happy, he does not accept what transpires with love and joy. He does not acknowledge the rightness of God's justice with him, and he cannot serve the Blessed One with joy.
You hear what it teaches here? The Torah teaches you, there's someone control this world. Everything that happens to us comes from the Almighty. Doesn't mean that everything is determined, because we still have a free choice. You have to understand that. You have this free choice to do whatever you want. But when things doesn't go your way, you have to stop for a minute, pause, and think, why this happening? What is going on? And don't try to, in Hebrew we're saying, لَرَبَّعَ et ha'ma'agal. Don't try to square the circle. If you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes it's impossible. What is going on? I did everything I could, and nothing's happening. I hear from people that, I have a bachelor degree and I have a master degree, and I can't find a job. He's the nicest person on earth. Well, you have to check why God is preventing you from that. What is happening here? This is just an example that we ran into last night with someone that came to speak with me. But everything that happens to you in life, there's a reason for it. So why to get upset? It's like you're ignoring what Hashem put in creation. Hashem has planned, and you are now got upset for something that happens in your life, not knowing that you're part of the plan. It's supposed to happen. Okay? This is why you're never going to be happy. Another thing is, you have to learn to accept. Sometimes God can say no. You know that? He is allowed to. You ask for so many things. You go to Hashem. Every time you want to speak with God, you come with a shopping list from here to the moon. And the question is that God could ask you, what do you do? I gave you a shopping list too. Things to do. What did you do that I owe you anything of your list? Think that. It's a simple thought. You know why God is listening to the righteous, to the Tzaddikim? Simply because He have to. When He created this world, one of the rules He set was, if you follow my Torah, my commandments, whatever you decree, I'll fulfill. The deal is you do what I say what I do what you say. The Tzaddikim, the righteous, are very close to God because of that. This is why listening to their prayers. This is why people go to the righteous and ask from them to pray for them too, because they are close to God. They don't get mad or upset easily. If they will, it will be because something triggered them and they can see maybe a scene or something that... So there have to be a very, very good reason. As it says, he does not acknowledge the righteousness of God's justice with him. Justice. He's like saying, you know what, God? It's not fair. What happens to me? I disagree. I'm very upset with you. A guy talked to me the other day, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. He's very upset with God. Very upset with God. Whoa, it's a strong statement. Okay, you just be careful that God will not be upset with you. Okay? But anyways, I said, well, why are you upset with God? He says, because God make me a very angry person. I have fire in me. That's the way he uses it. He says, I have esh, I have fire in me. And it kills me. Everything triggers me. Everything makes me upset. Everything. And sometimes become violent. And it gets in trouble because of that. And because I'm so intense, you can't sleep. You can't sleep. He can't sit even in class because he's like ADD. He's like, I don't know, he's like, he can't sit down. He can't relax. So I told him, take this book and study Sharakas. And not for the first time. I said, Rabbi, I remember I told you this a year ago. I already went through this twice. It doesn't help me. It doesn't work for me. I said, no, listen. First of all, it works and it should work for everybody. And I tell you what's missing. You know what's missing? You know what's missing? You're just reading it. You don't practice it. When you read, I say, oh, it's a nice word. And then when you close the book, you go back to your, whatever you do, you didn't cure yourself. You didn't fix the problem. What you have to do, what you must do, is to practice. Okay, the rabbi says I should first, when I get angry, I should be quiet. I should be silent. I should respond with a low voice. You know, the rabbi will give us tips here. Did you do any of it? Well, that's true. At least he was honest to admit that he never practiced it. He said, that's what's missing. You learn, you study, you know the problems, you know that you're an angry person, which is very good. It's 50% of problem eliminated because you don't have to convince you, because you already know your problem. Mm-hmm. Now, follow the direction. Follow the remedy that the rabbi gave you here. For some people, it takes time. A few weeks, a few months, years, I don't know. And then he goes back to the first one. So why Hashem created me with anger? That's not fair. Well, I told him, listen. According to the Kabbalah, anybody that comes here, we're all different, okay? There's some layback people, all day. The bums can fall all over and they have their time, they drink their beer, nothing happens. There's some people that are so intense, they can see a fly, they will chase after him. They're alert for everything. Different people, different character. Listen to this. Listen to that. When you have tendency in your life towards something which is bad, it means that you are exactly the same in the life before. You are reincarnate to live here to rectify this problem. It's still sitting here, and your soul is still carrying this problem because it's not fixed. You're here to fix it. If you have any tendency you have towards something which is against God's will, You should know this is a great sign for you. This is why you're here to fix. You are here to rectify. That's it. So if you are a cheater, if you're a thief, this is what you have to do. You have tendency toward anger. You are the same person the last time, and you still don't fix it. If you came here today just to hear that, it was worth it. If you're not following God's will, you're not an angry person. You're very nice. You support, you give tzedakah, you help all the people in the world. Everybody loves you. But what about the Torah and the laws that God's commanded you to keep? Shabbat, kosher diet, tefillin, prayers, Passover, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, many other mitzvot. You don't do. Why? Why some mitzvot, some laws and commandment you are doing and some you're subtracting? Who give you the permission? It's the whole package. And God says you can add or subtract on my mitzvot. You can't pick up mitzvot. So you are here to do everything. And then you sit under the wings of the Shekhinah in the next world with all the righteous people. But you have to earn it. Nothing is for free. Yes, some people have to work harder than you. Some people have to work. They have a different package with God. They have nothing to do with you. Don't you ever look at someone else and say, why I'm not like him. God wants you to be like him, will make you him. But you. So focus on you. Does that make sense to you? Okay, any questions? And this paragraph concludes with saying a very interesting thing. And all that you don't fix, and you're not happy, you're ever happy, and you don't accept what's going on with you, and cannot serve the blessed one with joy. You know what happens? Because you are neglecting your responsibility in life. And what happened is, the results are that you don't serve Hashem with joy. Not go, again, doing blessing. Oh, again, my God. Imagine to yourself, you want to breathe, right? And you're suffocating. And God says, God will say, oh, again, to give him air. Oh, again. He will say the same thing. But he's still giving you. Every day. Right now, take a deep breath. Thank you, Hashem, for giving us the ability to breathe. Did you ever say that? At least every morning we have to say it. It's not only serving God by fulfilling and following His Torah, it's doing it with a joy. Not like it's a burden. Yes, it's called the toil of Torah. Amal, you need to toil. You want something, you need to earn it. The more effort you put, the greater reward you get. Imagine someone is walking on the street or go out of the house and it's low temperature and he doesn't go with a shirt. And then he gets sick. And he become bedridden for 3 or 4 or 5 days. From Shamayim, he'll get punished for it. Why? Because what you did caused you to go to bed, and now you can't pray, you can't put the tefillin, you can't serve God. What do you think? God will give you a reward for that? Yeah, God gave you a body, you have to maintain this body according to what the doctor says. You have a good health, so you can serve Hashem, and then when you come to Him, He give you what He plans to give you. Whatever you do with joy. And never ever regret a mitzvah you did. Because if you ever regret a mitzvah, you will lose the entire reward for it, even if you do it for 30, 40, 50 years the same mitzvah with the one guy, giving him, and then one day make you upset, and then you say to your wife, I wish I wouldn't know this guy, and I wish I wouldn't give him anything. Up, you lost everything. You don't care about the mitzvah you did. You did a great mitzvah so far. You don't like him, don't give him anymore. But don't you ever, never regret about mitzvot you did. It's called Toheh al harishonot. You're questioning all what you did before. Which means it's meaningless for you. You don't care about this mitzvah. You lose it. So we've learned great things today. That, God willing, next week we get to the part that we going to learn how to handle anger. If you're angry, you're crazy. Don't be crazy. On behalf of Ohev Israel Foundation, I want to thank the Medinas for hosting this class, all the participants here and all those who watch us. Please, this is 8 candles of Hanukkah. Go to Ohev Israel Foundation website. Make your donation to support our organization so we can continue with the Torah and helping families in need. Toda Rabba. Happy Hanukkah. Have a good month. Chodesh Tov and Shavua Tov. Hanukkah Sameach.